Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there lived a young man who was the son of a wealthy householder. However, he was unhappy with his life and felt stifled by his father's expectations. He longed for adventure and freedom, so he decided to leave his home and venture out into the world. The young man traveled far and wide, but he quickly realized that life on the road was not as glamorous as he had imagined. He struggled to find food and shelter, and he was often cold, hungry, and alone. One day, while wandering through a new town, the young man stumbled upon a beautiful palace. The sight of it took his breath away, and he felt a sudden urge to enter the palace and explore its mysteries. As he approached the palace gates, he was stopped by the guards, who asked him what he was doing there. The young man explained that he was a traveler, seeking shelter and food. The guards were skeptical at first, but something in the young man's eyes made them believe that he was telling the truth. They led him inside the palace, where he was greeted by the sight of a grand banquet hall. The young man was amazed by the lavish feast laid out before him, and he couldn't believe his luck. But just as he was about to start eating, a stern voice called out to him. It was the palace owner, a wise old man who had been watching the young man from a distance. The old man looked at the young man with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Why are you here?" he asked. The young man hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to respond. But then he decided to tell the truth. He explained that he was a wanderer, searching for meaning in his life. He had left his home in search of adventure and freedom, but he had found only hardship and loneliness. The old man listened carefully to the young man's story, and he nodded thoughtfully. "I understand," he said. "You are searching for something that cannot be found outside of yourself. But the path to enlightenment is not an easy one. It requires courage, discipline, and humility." The young man felt a surge of hope and excitement. Could this wise old man help him find the answers he was seeking? Over the next few weeks, the young man stayed at the palace and learned from the old man. He meditated, studied scripture, and practiced self-discipline. He also learned about the power of compassion and the importance of serving others. Slowly but surely, the young man began to feel a sense of peace and contentment that he had never experienced before. He realized that the true source of happiness was not in material possessions or external circumstances, but in the state of his own mind. One day, as he was meditating in the palace gardens, the young man had a sudden realization. He understood that he had been searching for enlightenment in all the wrong places. The answer had been inside him all along. He ran to find the old man and told him what he had discovered. The old man smiled, knowing that the young man had finally found what he had been looking for. And so, the young man left the palace with a newfound sense of purpose and clarity. He continued to travel the world, but this time, he did so with a deeper understanding of himself and his place in the world. He knew that the journey to enlightenment was a lifelong one, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The moral of the story is that the path to enlightenment is not an easy one, but it is a rewarding one. If you have the courage and the humility to face your fears and confront your own limitations, you will discover a sense of inner peace and content.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Our Salon Diary.